So today in America, Americans are going to the polls to vote for their senators, congressmen and women, governors, and various other positions of power. There has been a very high voter turnout according to many of the top analysts. I, as a dual citizen, had the right to go and vote, and I did vote in New York State. In my district, in my congressional district, which is the 26th of New York, my ballot was blood red, redder than the bloodiest mess in a crime movie. There was no Democrat, no Green, no Workers Alliance, no Communist, no Socialist anywhere to be seen on my ballot. It was completely 100% Republican. Mark Molinaro, Chris, not Chris Collins, but other various Republicans I voted for. And I am very proud of that. I'm surprised at how easy and quick it was to vote in New York, which is actually quite distressing, unlike in my hometown and in my home province of Ontario, where it is quite difficult to vote. You have to prove your address and you have to have ID. In New York, all you have to do is sign a piece of paper next to another signature and you can vote, which is very easy to commit multiple voter fraud and to encourage people who shouldn't be voting to in fact vote. Nevertheless, my prediction is that the Republicans will build on their majority in the Senate, but they will lose the House of Representatives. And of course, Trump will remain the president. In New York State, I do believe that Michael Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, will win the governor's race. However, I do truly hope that any New Yorker watching this video now who lives in Staten Island, Niagara County, or on Long Island, or anywhere in the central part of the state, if you haven't voted, get out and vote immediately. Those are the regions of New York where Trump won very big, and if Mark Molinaro were to win those areas, we could humiliate Andrew Cuomo very badly in this election. However, I am not upset at the fact that the Democrats are very well poised to win the House of Representatives. The reason why I'm not upset is for three reasons. Number one, I feel that this is going to ensure that President Donald Trump wins a second term in 2020. This is a very historical thing, that the pattern that happens. It happened in 1994 when Newt Gingrich and the Republicans won in a landslide the Senate and the House. The Iran Nation is predicting the Republicans will keep the Senate, but Newt Gingrich and the Republican Revolution and their contract with America swept the Capitol, and Bill Clinton won in '96 because Newt Gingrich blocked everything that Bill Clinton wanted to do, just like I feel the Democrats in the House of Representatives will do. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Tacky Head Bouffant Hair Waters, those two, along with those other radical Democrats in the House of Representatives, will try everything they can to block Trump, and they will not cooperate with him on even some of the most neutral topics like infrastructure and antitrust laws. They will not want to cooperate with him based on their tone, calling him Hitler and racist, and advocating for Americans to kick out anybody who works with him out of restaurants and out of public places. They will be the biggest almighty obstructionists, and the American people will see it, and they will be disgusted, and they will want to reward Trump a second term and damn the Democrats in 2020 for their behavior, which is going to be an almighty just disgusting freak show. It's going to be messy and there will be lots of blood. Having said that, my second reason that I'm happy at my outcome is because the Republicans will keep the Senate, which is more important than the House. The Senate, my friends, is what will determine if President Trump gets impeached or not. The Senate decides. The Senate would have decided Richard Nixon's fate. The Senate decided Bill Clinton's fate, and they decided, going way back to Andrew Johnson when he was impeached by the House, the Senate decided Andrew Johnson's fate. The Senate will not vote to impeach Donald Trump, though the House of Representatives will try, and my God, they will try their hardest to impeach him. It will not work, and it will just be another star that Donald Trump can put on his chances to winning in 2020, when all the American people will see is attempt after attempt after attempt to impeach the duly elected president for no viable reason whatsoever other than they do not like him. But the third reason why I am happy with my outcome is because I am very knowledgeable and big on the stock market. I do invest my money in the stock market when I can, and I enjoy the aspect and the idea of the American stock market and global stock markets. This is the time right now to invest in the U.S. stock market and to hop on the stock market train. If you thought that 2016 was big, if you thought that 2016 was bleeding green on the stock market, you have seen nothing yet, my brothers and my sisters. 2018 is the perfect time now that we are facing a divided government and divided branches of government to put your money in the stock market. Here's why. The stock market and businesses enjoy the fact that the government fights amongst itself, because that means that these big companies and small companies, the economy in general, will be able to move full steam ahead, and the government will be too busy fighting with themselves to get in the way of the economy, which will result in a bleeding of green on the stock market. It happened in 1994 when Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton were fighting each other like dogs in the night. Meanwhile, the American economy soared and the stock market soared with it, and many people became wealthy. It happened in the 80s when Reagan and the Speaker O'Neill were fighting each other like dogs in the night. They were fighting, and there was lots of blood between Reagan and O'Neill. Nevertheless, they were too busy fighting each other to get in the way of the economy, and the 80s economy soared. The economy loves a divided government, and this is the perfect opportunity right now to invest in the U.S. stock market. Tomorrow, when the bell rings on in New York City, on Wall Street, you had better put your money in the American stock market. Your 401k, all of that. Invest, invest, invest. I cannot stress that anymore. 2016 was nothing compared to what is happening and what is coming up. This will be even better than the tech and all of that put together. The 90s would be nothing compared to what's happening, because believe me, we are coming upon a time when the government will be very bitterly divided, too divided to get into the lives of individual Americans, for better or for worse. I am not somebody who believes that the government should completely just get out of the way of the average American. Because though big government is a problem, and Reagan proved that to a T, we still need to understand that global companies, big global companies, are not on our side either. We have to have a balance, but it is perfect opportunity to invest in the American stock market if that is your forte. That is my final message for the 2018 midterm election. I shall not speak of it anymore. This is what I feel is going to happen, and we will just see and have to wait what really happens. For now, this is the Iran Nation.